Today, I think we're going to have a really exciting topic, Facebook for your group. I may use the word business in here periodically. Facebook doesn't care if you're a non-for-profit group or a business or an organization. It's all the same thing. We're going to show you right from the very beginning how to get started. So let me work my way through my presentation. So as you heard, 25 years experience. This is a picture of my book, most importantly, 100 Amazing Computer Tips. It's only $15. And I have to tell you, people who have bought this, it's only gotten 5-star reviews on Amazon. People who have bought this said they've learned so much in the first few pages that it's well worth it. So that's my tip for the day. The objectives, we're just going to talk about the difference between a personal and a business Facebook, because you might say, and I see a lot of people, well, I'll just use my personal Facebook page. Isn't that the same? And it totally is not the same. It has very different goals and options available to you. We're going to help you define your target audience. Now, actually, I can't help you define your target audience. You have to figure out who they are. But it's very important that you do figure out who they are. Try and define them as well as possible in terms of age, gender, interests, location in the country, in the world. All of that's going to be beneficial when it comes time for you to set up your business page or your organization's page. We're going to look at the tools that you can use to reach your target audience and look at the kinds of insights that you get from Facebook as a result of boosting posts. And I haven't defined that, but I will as I go along. Okay, so everybody's business should be on Facebook, and if you do, your business will magically grow. Well, you know what? That isn't always the case. Nothing is magic here, sadly, and you really need to work at making anything viable. I think that so often people say, well, just have a Facebook page and people will flock to it. Well, it's not that easy. Facebook should be one tool in your arsenal. What is it? What is your real goal? Do you actually have a website that you want to drive people to? Do you have products that you want people to be buying? What is the purpose for you having a Facebook page? And where do you want them to go? What is your call to action that you want? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to write a message to you? Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to buy your product? That has to be very clear in your mind, because if it isn't clear in your mind, it's going to be a very muddy message that you're sending out to your population. So you can see in this diagram, Facebook is one thing that you might be using. You might also be using LinkedIn and Twitter and blog and your email blasts. All of those come together. You can't really say, I'm only going to rely upon one vehicle and hope that everybody is going to come. You have to figure out where your people are. That's why your target audience is very important to define. You can see that part of this is coming in from LinkedIn. Well, is it a professional target audience that you have? Well, then you're going to also want to be on LinkedIn. Is it young people? Well, they're all apparently on Twitter tweeting away, other than the president. That's where most of the young people are. So then you'll want to be on Twitter. Do you have a blog? Do you have interesting articles? So where is Facebook in this whole big plan? This is a picture of a personal Facebook page. And when you're on a personal Facebook page, you're probably aware, I'd like to think that you're aware, that what you're seeing for the most part is called your news feed. And your news feed is updates that people have presented on that have posted, and you're seeing them because you're a friend of theirs. Well, in addition to these sort of posts, periodically, you'll notice that there are posts that say sponsored. Well, these sponsored posts are advertisements, of course. This one is clearly an advertisement from Microsoft about their Office programs. But these are advertisements, and the companies or businesses or organizations pay to get you to see them. And it's based upon your demographics. And you might say, well, I haven't given them many demographics. Well, of course, you gave them your name and your birthday. Do you remember doing that when you signed into your initial Facebook page? They asked you what your birth date was, so they know a little bit about you, and I hope you were honest when you did that. I find it humorous. Sometimes people lose their Facebook password. They'll ask what their birth date is, and because they lied about it, they can never get back into their Facebook page. So be truthful about that so they know a little bit about you. They probably know if you filled in a little of your demographics, they probably know where you live. And if you're using it on a mobile device, they sure as heck know where you are physically in the world. They are telling me these days who's near me. I find it humorous when that person is standing right next to me that they say that somebody is near me. So they do know that much about you, but the way they learn more about you is by your actions. When you're on your personal Facebook page and you like something, that goes into the big database in the sky where it is indicated that maybe you like to look at puppy pictures. And so suddenly you're kind of a dog lover. Certainly in this last spate of political nonsense that went on, they figured out whether you were leaning towards a Republican or a Democrat, and they were feeding you information based upon that. So they know a lot about you and your interests based upon your actions and reactions on Facebook. So here's a side-by-side of a personal page on the left and a business page on the right. And you can see that they have some things in common. They both have a cover picture, and cover picture is particularly important for a business page because this is your business card. So you really want to be very careful and thoughtful about what you put on your cover picture. This is going to be the first impression that somebody has of you. In addition to that, we have profile pictures. Of course, the one on the left would probably be a picture of you as an individual. The one on the right is going to be a little bit more about your company. The one on the right is not a particularly good profile picture. You can barely see it in this magnification. It probably would be better if they just use their logo. That's a very effective logo. So think about what your profile picture would be. And then we have various options. Now you can see as a person, as an individual, you have an add a friend and a message, but it's very different on a business page. You have like, follow, and share. Like is gold. We love it when people like our business page because what that means is when we post on our business page, the people who like us are probably going to be seeing our updates on their news feed. We don't have to pay for that because they have liked our business page and we post, it should normally be directed to them. I have to tell you that Facebook is playing fast and furious with some of this so that even though you have a certain number of people that like your business page or your organization page, it isn't always 100% of those people. In fact, sometimes it's about 50% of those people who see the posts that you put up. So it's really important that on a business page, as opposed to a personal page, I mean, who cares how often you put some information on a personal page? On a business page, you really need to be doing something on an ongoing basis, minimum of once a week. Ideally, in a perfect ideal world, talking about specifically a business page, if you want to keep people connected, you're probably going to have to post, it'd be ideal 3 times a day. Realistically, could we hope for 3 times a week? And actually, maybe more realistically, once a week would be really the minimum that I would like to see from a professional page. You want to keep people engaged. Relative to that, one other thing, on a personal page, you can have a maximum of 5,000 friends, which maybe seems like a lot. I don't have 5,000 friends yet, so it's not a problem for me. But if you were using a personal page as a business page, let's say that you were a band, and you were hoping that you'd get a ton of followers. Well, the moment you reached 5,000, that's it. You can't have any more people like you or friend you. So now what do? You would have to switch that over, and you can, in fact, switch over a personal page to a business page. But keep in mind, you must always have a personal page. So you'd have to create another personal page for yourself. So before you get yourself too far afield in trouble, just set up one of these business group pages, and then you'll be good to go. Relative to our business page, there is an unlimited number of likes that you can have. In fact, the more the merrier. I had a fellow once who was writing an awful book. He gave me the book to read, and he kept worrying about what the maximum number of likes was. And I was pretty sure that he wouldn't have any problem reaching the maximum, not reaching the maximum number, because it was a terrible book. Okay, so let's get started about how do you create one of these. If you don't have it now, you have to log on to your personal page. As I said, you must have a personal page in order to have a business or a group page. Then you go to the upper, and by the way, you really want to be doing this on a computer or through a browser. There are very limited things that you can do in an app, in the Facebook app. They call it an app because it's a shortened application. It's not the full version of the program. So it's really important. Sit down at a computer, find something that you can actually go to a browser on, and you'll see that across the top of your screen on the far right side, there's a little triangle identified here with number 1. When you click on it, you can see the very first thing is create a page. Once you click on create a page, you'll be directed to this screen, which is where you have an opportunity to choose what kind of a business page it is. You can see that it could even be here in the lower left corner. Do you see an artist, a band, or a public figure? So maybe if you have that band, that would be the way to go. Artist, by that, we're also talking about if you're an author and you want to create an author page. Well, that's your area over there in the lower left corner. But you can see that you have to identify which of these 6 categories, big categories, your business fits into. Once you do that, and we've just arbitrarily chosen the one in the lower left corner, the choices are going to be different, of course, based upon the initial choice that you make relative to the type of business. But you can see then what is the category, and there are quite a few categories in here. You can change your mind about it. Once you've chosen this, if you don't see something that belongs, that relates to what you're doing, well, try another one of these types and see if that, in fact, is a better way to go. And then the next step is, once you've set up your type and your category, now it's going to ask you for a little bit more information. So again, this is an author because that was the choice that I made in the last screen. And you need to fill in a little bit about yourself, the author, or your organization. If you have a web page, you're going to be adding that at number 2. And then at number 3, this is kind of important, choose a unique Facebook web address. So you see that this is the usual http://www.facebook.com/ and that would then say your business name. If you don't fill this in, it will be some generic, and it will be a series of numbers, and it will be an ugly thing. Used to be that you couldn't set this up for a while, and then you had to come back and set it up after you had 30 people that liked you, and it got a little cumbersome. So I'm really happy that they changed it so that up front you can come up with a very clear Facebook unique web address. And as long as nobody has that web address, you're good to go. And then you would go on to the second choice, which is putting in your profile picture. So here's your opportunity to upload a profile picture. This is 180 pixels by 180 pixels. It's a square orientation. You would have your logo ready, your product ready, a picture of your band, maybe your president of your group. It doesn't matter what it is, but it should be an effective picture. This little profile picture is really important because every time you publish an update, this is going to be the little thumbnail that's going to appear. So you'd be able to, as you see, upload it from a computer or import it from your website. Click on that, you put in your website, and it will pull in all the pictures for you. And then this is very important, the preferred page audience. Now, remember how I said that you need to identify who your profile, who your target audience is? this is going to impact that, because if you define this nicely, what this is going to do is Facebook will feed your messages to your target audience for you on an ongoing basis. So they will expand your audience by an amount, not a lot typically, but it will tell you how many people could be reached based upon your preferences. So you can see everyone in this location. You'd be able to choose a country, state, city, or any variation on those. Multiple cities you could put in here. The age range of your target audience, the gender, and interests. You see how we started to type in the word fairy, and fairy tale, and fairy tale book series, and so forth came up. You can't just type in any word, because the big database in the sky where all of your interests are being stored only have certain categories. So if you put in a category here for an interest that isn't being categorized by Facebook, that's going to be something that isn't going to impact your searches. So I think you want to just start typing in something that would be interest to them. If you're a computer users group, obviously the interests will be computers. Maybe if you're an Apple versus a PC, you would want to identify that here too. It's not an exact science. I don't know that they know exactly which device you're using, although they certainly have the opportunity to do that and put that in their database. So this is defining your target audience, and you can see that at the top of this, the about, the profile picture, and step 3 is the preferred page audience. So at that point, we are ready and our page is set up. So this is the next screen that you would be seeing. The add photo for your profile picture would have the picture in it that you had selected in the earlier screen, and now you're ready to see the cover picture and put that in. Now this, I have to apologize, this screen is a little bit old. Old being 2 months ago. Facebook changed the way this looks. I'll show you that in just a moment. But the profile picture now is off to the left. And the cover picture, where it says Sarah Mannion author, that cover picture takes up that whole space. The call to action and so forth, that is now down below the picture. So you have, in theory, this entire dark gray area where you can put your message. Now, I'm saying in theory because you have to be a little careful about that. The top third or quarter is not visible to you all the time. And again, I'll show you what that looks like. So getting started, we're going to fill in the rest of this information. Add your cover picture, and you want to invite your friends to this page. Now, your friends may actually not be your target audience, but you want to very quickly get to 30 likes. The moment you reach 30 likes, then you can start really targeting your target audience. But until you get to 30 likes, you don't see any insights. And so that's kind of a magical number. We always populate this initially with our friends. And if you have friends who are in your organization, those are the best ones to start with, and friends of theirs. So pretty soon you'll be able to get up to your magic 30. And then, of course, you'll be creating some posts. Okay, this is a picture. This top picture is a more representative of the cover picture that is now being used. You can see that it's a full-size picture, and the thumbnail, your profile picture off to the left, is quite lovely. And this is a good example of a good profile picture. It's very clear, it's colorful, and it's concise. To the right on their cover picture, it's a full picture. Now, look down below at the cover where it says cover photo. And here's interesting, the darkened area is hidden on page load. So you have to be careful about the design of your page. Do you see that in the top picture? The most important information, the greatest race on water, tickets on sale now, americascup.com/tickets. Do you see where they've placed that at the bottom of the page? So no matter what you see of this, no matter whether you go to that business page, the top half is going to be covered. So you want the important information at the bottom of the page. As you scroll up, if you were to go to this page and then scroll up, you'd see the entire picture. So you want to be very careful when you're defining what your cover photo looks like, so that it is showing everybody the most important part. Also keep in mind, this picture doesn't depict it, but keep in mind, if someone was viewing your page on a mobile device, and as you know, more than 50% of all the Facebook is viewed on a mobile device, you want to be very careful about that too. You're not going to see all that much to the left and the right. So you want to center your information towards the bottom of the screen. Okay, so how do you create a cover photo? Well, there's a whole bunch of companies online. I'm not real keen about downloading software from various places that I'm not totally comfortable with. So one place that I do like is listed here. It's canva.com. You see it says free online Facebook cover photo maker at Canva. This is a great online graphic tool where you can use their Facebook cover templates and make some really outstanding cover designs for yourself. All right. Also, the next thing you need to do is create a call to action. What would you like people to do if they came to your Facebook page? Would you like them to call you? Would you like that? And the call you is really great, especially on these mobile devices, because a lot of them are phones. So if you post something and you say, call me, and they tap that, it's dialing and they're calling you. So that's a great thing. Do you want them to book an appointment with you? Do you want them to contact you? That will generate an email. Do you want them to send you a message? That's an in-Facebook message. Use an app, play a game, shop now. Some, depending upon the type of business you chose, you can have a Facebook store. And if you have a Facebook store and you choose Shop Now, it actually brings you to the store where you can buy items that are for sale. Sign up for an event, watch a video, send an email, or learn more. So what would you like them to do? And you really need to know by this time what that is. Choose it here. If it was to go to a website, that would then bring up a second window where you put in the website address. As you can imagine, Call Now would bring up a second window where you put in the telephone number. So you choose a button and you tell it what to do. Now, when you're posting, it's very important to keep in mind 3 things that are imperative in an effective post. One is, of course, that you're going to put in your message. All right. What is it that you want to say? Hurry on down. Don't miss out on this sale. Upcoming events, sign up today, call us now. What is it that you want? What is your message? You must include a picture in that message. That's not maybe I should. You must include a picture of some kind of a clip art. Now look at this picture. Wouldn't you just run right down and buy these little Oreo cookie balls? Don't they look fabulous? So the picture is going to get somebody to read what the message is. And then you need to include a call to action. What is a call to action? Call now, come see us, sale ending, visit our store, come to our meeting. If you tell people what you want them to do, the chances are way better that they're going to do it than if you don't tell them. So it's really important that you put in a call to action. And lastly, a link. If you want them to go to your website to sign up now, well, there better be a link that goes to your website, an appropriate link. So those are the 4 things that you should include in your posts. So here's an example. Our bracelets are hot and our customers are even hotter. Look who's shopping for Sorelli bracelets. Go to our website and buy a few bracelets. Remember, the March Madness sale ends at the end of the month. And there is the link to the website. So this is a well-structured post. What other things can you put in posts? Well, offers. If you're having an offer of some kind. Events are really great. you can set up an event, and that actually is a separate kind of post. But an event, when you set it up, is something that has a date and a time and a place, and people will then say whether or not they're coming. It will send out reminders to people as the event gets closer. It's a fabulous feature. Co-branding. Sometimes you want to, maybe you're an author and you're going to have a book signing at a bookstore. So you'll want to mention the bookstore in your post, and you want the bookstore to mention you in their post, and that's co-branding. You can put out surveys. I recently, for a client, said, which of these do you like, A, B, or C? And I had 3 pictures of their product. It was the same product, but in different colors. Which of these colors is your favorite? It's getting people to react to you and to leave comments, and all of that is good, because on Facebook, the more people interact with a particular post, the more that post is going to be seen on other people's timeline. So it's really important that people are not just viewing your information, but are reacting to it in some way. They're liking it or sharing it or whatever. You can include links to related articles. So again, with this bracelet business, I found some articles on how to care for silver jewelry, because this is silver. And so it's not something that I wrote, but it's something of interest. You want to give people a reason to want to like your page so that they can enjoy the updates that you put in. Product reviews, videos, and the last one is kind of interesting, isn't it? A new cover picture. Whenever you change your cover picture, that then becomes a post, and people get a notice that says, Diane McKeever just updated her cover picture. It's amazing how many people then will like that new cover picture or comment on it, and as a result, again, you're getting some traction on it. So get imaginative about this. You can get creative. When you click on a post these days, it shows you this graphic to remind you of some of the options that are available to you if you've forgotten. So you could share a post or video. This is just a regular, when you click on this, it just gives you a regular post, but the option to attach a photo is a little bit more apparent. Get sales will help you put together a promotion, advertise your business, and so forth. You can read these as well as I can. But you see, create an event is really a great one, because when you click on create an event, as I said, you'll have an opportunity to put in all the information about that event, and then you invite people to that event, and people will say whether or not they're coming. All right. When people see your post in their timeline, they have 3 options. They can like it, they can comment on it, and they can share it. Any one of these 3 is brilliant. You want them to do something beyond just looking at it. So you want them to like it. That would be the least that they could do. And actually, you know that Facebook added a few months ago, maybe it's almost 9 months by now, these 6 emotions. Not only do you like something, but you could love it. You could find it humorous. You could say, wow, that's the 4th one. You could be sad about it, or you could be mad about it. So using any one of these emotions, they're all similar to like, but different reactions. You can have people comment on it. And again, commenting is brilliant too, because it gets people acting and communicating back with you. And then the last one is sharing. And sometimes you'll say in your post, if you think this is important, please share it on your timeline so that your friends can find out about it. Maybe it's your upcoming meeting. Maybe you're trying to expand your group. So you say, please share this information so that your friends can benefit from it as well. So if you tell people to share things, it's like, oh, I forgot that I could share something. Oh, yeah, I've got some friends who might be interested in this. All right, so I'll share it. And the more you share, the larger your audience is going to be. So sharing is brilliant. We want to promote sharing. We want to tag people in posts. If it's a complimentary picture, we don't want to tag people who are doing silly things. That's not a good practice. It tends to turn people off. And the last thing that we can do is boost. And by boosting, now we're talking about paying. That's the first time we've talked about spending money on Facebook. When you pay, when you boost, you identify a target audience and an amount that you spend over a duration of time. And Facebook will then boost this post or show this post to people outside of the people who currently like your business page. Boosting is really important. So you would post something as um, this is an update that was posted at some point. And below it, you will see the words boost post. You see over on the left side, it says 24 people were reached by this particular status update or post. Not a lot, clearly. And so what I might want to do in order for more people to see this is to click on Boost Post. When I do, it asks me who I would like to boost that post to, so that who can see this when I boost it. And you can see the first is people who like your page. Well, it's kind of silly to boost a post to people who already like your page, because the theory is the people who already like your page are already seeing this post. So I don't really know why they think that that's a good idea. The second is people who like your page and their friends. Now, if you think that the people who like your page, if you think their friends are similar in interest to them, that might be an option. And then the last is people you choose through targeting. So you have an opportunity. You see where the word bracelets is? That is, underneath that is a audience that I have identified for this bracelet business, that they're located in the United States. They like shopping and fashion and jewelry and bracelets and online shopping and da-da-da-da-da and more and more. So you can see that you can create a new audience or edit an existing audience. So once you've got your audience defined, you don't really have to go in each time and define it. You might want to tweak it a little bit, but you don't have to do that each time. So if I said create an audience, you can see that I would have an opportunity to add an audience name and a location. Currently it's on countries, but I could change that to states or cities. When I had another client and they had very upscale jewelry, we tried to focus on cities that we felt were where an upscale audience would be. So we were saying Miami and Greenwich and some areas of Illinois and California, some of the high-end areas in California. We were able to put in those cities, and not only do you put in those cities, but you choose an area around it. So you say that city and 50 or 25 or 100 miles surrounding that city. What is the age group that you're targeting? It's really important that you identify this. What gender? What is the gender? If this is a product, who's actually going to be buying this? It could be a men's product, but if you think that most people who will be buying it are women, well, that's what you put in, not the men who are actually going to be wearing or using this product, but that the people who are going to be shopping for it. And then you can see our interests. And you can also see down at the bottom, there's some additional with a little plus in front of them based upon the interest that I've already put in. Facebook is now saying, well, how about body piercings and hairstyle and pajamas and boots and cardigan sweaters? Okay. If any of these are appropriate, you would just click on them and they would be added to this list. All right, let's see, create an audience. Let's move on from this. Determining your budget. So once you've got your audience, the next thing in the screen as you scroll down is, what is your budget? How much are you going to spend? And but when you give them a budget, it then tells you what your estimated people reach is going to be. The more you spend, clearly, the larger this people reach is going to be. And I have to tell you, this is like a totally trust thing, that Facebook has said that 800 people have been reached by this. There's no way that you can click on it and say, yeah, show me all 800. You have to just say, oh, that's great. 800 people were reached. They tell you what the reach was, and you just have to believe it. The duration, 1 day, 7 days, 14 days. And you can also change that. a little bit further down is a date range. So you can say run it until, and so you can give it 5 days, 7 days, 12 days, whatever your date range is. You could say a month, but I don't know. I don't know that you'd really want to have something go that long. But in any event, if I said, as I do here, that it's 10 day, $10 and it's 7 days, that's not $10 a day. That's $10 for 7 days. So 1/7 will be spent each day for 10 days. For 1/7 of the $10 will be spent each day. Okay. So we're creating an event. You would say that it's an inventor milestone. You have a photo, you put in the event name, location, date, and so forth. And when you publish that, that becomes then a very different post where people have an opportunity to say, yes, they're going, no, they're not going, or maybe they're going. So you get interest in that. And then lastly, once you reach your 30 people who like your Facebook page, now you can start seeing insights. So this will tell you, if you look at the bottom of the page, those are various posts that I have and what was the engagement on them. And so you can see that one of my posts, a couple of these posts reached 4,000, 5,000 people. And it also tells you then how many people clicked on your picture, how many people clicked on your link, how many people liked your picture, how many people shared it, and all of that goes into the reach of your posts. So these are the insights that you will get as soon as you reach that magic milestone of having 30, and I think I've been saying 30, I think it now is 20 likes on your page. And once you get that, you'll be able to get these insights that tell you what your reach is, what your likes, your comments, and your shares. And these are pretty true statistics, because it's often that you have this and you're sending them to a website. And very often on the website, you can track the people that are going to your website, and it pretty well does track what Facebook is saying. So I guess I'm going to try and be open-minded and think that they're being truthful about this, even though being the doubting Thomas, sometimes you'd like to say, really, I'd like to could you just show me a list of those people? No, you can't see that. All right, so these are the kinds of insights that you'll be viewing. People insight, this is kind of interesting, isn't it? That it shows you the people, the gray, the light gray is the demographics of Facebook in general, and then the blue is showing you, the darker blue on the bottom or the lighter blue on the top is men versus women and your relative audience versus that in the general population. And then down at the bottom, kind of interesting, it tells you where exactly your people are coming from, where they are physically located. So is Facebook good for your business? Oh, I feel like I've talked so fast I have minutes to spare. Is Facebook good for your business? It's probably really good for your business, if nothing more. And by business, I'm talking about group, industry, whatever it is that you're advertising on business, whatever it is that you're promoting on business. This is a really cheap way of reaching a large number of people. I don't boost a lot. Maybe once every 4 posts, maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks, I will boost a post to see if I can expand my audience. And then those people will like me, hopefully. And some of the boosts would be, please like our Facebook page so that you always get updates. And if I can get some more people to like me, then I don't have to boost as many. So if I had a following of 1 million people, I'd probably never have to boost, because I would have enough of a population all the time. I don't have a like list of 1 million people. It's more like in the many hundreds of people. So as a result, periodically, I will boost a post just to increase that base audience. So, wow, I think I did this in record time. Any questions out there, Dave? Has everybody fallen asleep?
Okay, I'm sitting here. No, I don't have any questions yet. Does anybody have any questions for Diane? type them in. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, we have plenty of time. I have 2 more minutes to my presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great presentation. I really learned a lot.
Thank you. I'm sorry that I feel that I talk so fast, but I felt that I only had 45 minutes, so I needed to get a lot of information in. Please let me know what you think about this. Tell me what your group is, and maybe I can give you some suggestions as to the things that you might be posting. So just leave a message. I'd love to chat with you. Let Dave know, and he will be my my filter. Any questions?
Dumping them up. Okay. Curious about phone number for a group. Do you have any comments about that?
Whether you put a phone number in for a group?
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't put a personal phone number in for a group. If the group has a dedicated line, certainly I would include that. You know, if you have an event and you want to let somebody know somebody is accepting all the RSVPs, then sure, you're going to put somebody's telephone number in. But, you know, once you put telephone numbers out on the internet, it's a little dicey, isn't it? That suddenly you're getting all kinds of spam calls. So you want to be a little careful about that.
Yeah. Well, as I said, what we do is we use just what Judy just put in, get a free Google phone number.
Interesting.
And what you do is, like iGroup, it doesn't ring anywhere. It just sends a text message to us. You know, they say this is a message phone. Please leave a message for.
Oh.
And
cool. I learned something new.
Yeah. Or the email actually works better when you're doing it for.
Absolutely. Email. I mean, at least you can filter out email very easily, can't you?
Yeah. Okay. One other question: is your book available at Barnes and Noble?
You can request it at Barnes and Noble, and they can get it. Yes. They normally don't have it on the shelves. I have to be honest with you.
Okay. Amazon's always good. You're on Amazon, aren't you?
I am on Amazon. Real easy on Amazon.
Yeah.
But it is available, just not on the bookshelf.
Yeah, dump. Okay. Someone said they use a Magic Jack phone number. If anybody wants to email Judy or myself, we can walk you through about getting a Google free phone number.
What kind of groups are you guys thinking about using Facebook for? That's what I do best is...
Well, these are all computer user groups.
Yeah, but they might have a church that they're working with, or they might have a band, or they might be an artist and want to set up a Facebook page for that group, not just for their user group.
Yeah. Well, they're also talking about somebody who would like to do it for a church.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's so important. You know, if you only reach the people who come to church regularly, you're missing a large part of your segment. So if you can reach some of them through a Facebook page as to things that are going on in your church, you know, you're going to have a blood drive, you're going to have a special pastor come visit, you're going to have a potluck supper. Those are the sort of things that your congregation needs to know about. And if they don't come to church, they typically don't know about it. So this is a way of reaching out to the congregation, out to your audience, and bringing them in and keeping them informed. Okay,
got one question here. Should user groups upload information about new offices?
Sure, why not? That's a great post. Absolutely.
Okay. Got a question for you. That if someone is not on Facebook, what argument should you use to them to get on Facebook?
Well, the first thing I would say, actually, I give a presentation on Facebook, friend or foe. And do try and convince people that it really is probably a well worthwhile thing, and that you can control the experience. And the most important thing you need to do is go into the settings and make sure that all of your information is private. But I think it's the greatest tool in the world to keep in touch with people that you don't see on a regular basis. I have friends from when I was an elementary school kid, 5 or 20 years ago, and And I totally lost connection with them and have reconnected with them on Facebook. And then, of course, keeping track of children and grandchildren, I think it's the greatest thing. Today, I logged on to my Facebook, and there was a picture of each of my two sons, both of whom are grown professionals. One was making a wonderful presentation in California, and the other one was taking his daughter on a father-daughter date last night. And it was just delightful seeing these pictures on Facebook. How else do you share with friends? I don't know. It's so much better than email.
Yeah.
And now that we're through the political season,
yeah,
it's a better place than it was 6 months ago.
Okay. Okay. They want to know if your book is in ebook format.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. I don't remember what the price is, but I want to say like $8.99 or something, but I think it's better as a book format because you can more easily tag the pages and turn down the corners and highlight things. And I don't know, I'm just a paper girl maybe, but I think it's a better book in paper format. There are tip cards in the back that are really great if you print them out or just reference them. All kinds of ASCII codes and keyboard shortcuts, and it's a great book. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Okay. How important is, when you have a meeting, for people to post positive things about the meeting?
Well, you wouldn't have a meeting so much on Facebook. Would you be reporting on the meeting?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, you put the fact that your group was having an event or a meeting. And I think what you're saying is how important it is for you to solicit feedback to your Facebook page from people that attended that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anything that gets people talking about things is really important because it gives you feedback. They can say things, they will say things to you online that they might not say in person. And keep in mind that you as the moderator of this page have full control over what appears on the page. So if somebody has really said something out of line, you can go in and you can first just delete that post of theirs. And secondly, you can go in and block them if they continue to make obnoxious remarks.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Let's say that Jane Doe follows your group on Facebook, but her friend Fred does not. But Jane and Fred are friends in Facebook. If Jane posts a like or a comment about the meeting on her Facebook page that goes to your page, wouldn't that also show up on Fred's page?
It would, and he might be interested in the group as a result of Jane being interested in the group.
And a positive feedback from her may get him interested.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the more talking you can get, the more ways you can network.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm not sure what all that means. Family history for Facebook groups.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Jane, if you could re-ask the question. Steve doesn't understand. I don't know what the question was. Oh, okay. If you have a Facebook business and you change jobs, can you change the name of your page?
You have one opportunity to change the name of your page. So you want to be really sure that you're changing the name, because how many small businesses start and they think this is the best name since sliced bread, and then somebody else has the name or whatever, and then you realize it's too long and you want to change it. You have one opportunity. So yes, you can change the name of your business. And sometimes accidentally, sometimes Facebook will actually create business pages for people without their knowledge. And so suddenly there's two business pages with your name, and it's clearly your business. You can merge those two as well. And anybody that has liked the page will be migrated to the new combined page.
Okay. Well, if you start a business and it doesn't work, you can always delete the page and start a new one, right?
Sure. But,
And
if it's just that you've changed the name, you don't want to delete one because you've got some history there
yeah,
and
I
you've got some
understand.
likes. Yep.
Okay. And just if you have a business page and you change jobs, I thought if you changed, okay. Uh,
And you
okay,
can
so,
have more than one person who's the administrator. You can assign various roles to various people. So if you no longer are working at that company, you can assign a new administrator and you can get yourself off as an administrator.
yeah, okay. Several people are talking about Facebook privacy settings and what you can and can't do. I think that's a little beyond the scope of what we're talking about here today.
Well, I'll just say that when you go into Facebook, go into that upper right corner and do this again on a computer. Don't use it in your app, or go into a browser on your smartphone. And you'll be able to see that in the upper right side, it says settings. And so you'll scroll all the way down and look at some of those settings. The privacy settings are really important. The notification settings are even more important because I find that what's turned on by default is that you get an email for every update. If people comment on something that you've commented on and so forth, those emails are just really annoying. So first thing I do is turn off all the email notifications.
Yeah. Okay. Several things. Maybe, Judy, we can put together a Facebook presentation on the advantages of Facebook and walk through people on the security so they don't get so scared
Yep.
about what you can and can't do.
That's my Facebook friend or foe presentation.
Judy, you can hear that. So, because I said, I don't know. I'm going to ask you the question. I don't know if you can respond to it. How do you respond to someone who asks to be your friend and you prefer not to be their friend?
How do you respond to someone who asks to be your friend and you don't want to be their friend? You just ignore the friend request.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, just ignore the friend request. They don't. They don't really know that you've ignored it. Actually, they don't know if you've ignored it. They just know that you haven't accepted it or that they don't see your posts. But quite frankly, typically somebody puts out 4 or 5 friend requests and you kind of forget who you've asked to be a friend.
Yeah, well, a lot of the times it's phishing. Being a single older man, you're amazing what type of requests you get.
Well, if I were as cute as you, Dave,
I know.
I would worry about all those chicks who were trying to be friends with you.
Yeah, I know. As I said, some of them are from all sorts of good countries and stuff. So, but again, as I said, it's one of the things we can get into in when you talk about smart Facebooking,
right?
Is accepting friends and who your friends and how the stuff, fake news and all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I
mean, there's ways of handling it. There's the good and the bad with everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's not other questions, as I said, what I'll do is we'll have Judy send you the part on your Facebook, and if you have anything you want to respond to, you can. But I certainly learned a lot, and we got a lot of comments in here from deep people in here that really enjoyed it and said you answered a lot of questions going through. And there are a lot of specific questions in here. Maybe we can get somebody to answer.
Sure. Well, my email address is on the screen. I encourage people to email me all the time, and my email box is very quiet. So apparently I'm a scary person and nobody wants to talk to me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And what she said is that we may want to remind everybody here that has a first Facebook page to like Diane's Facebook page.
Sure. It's
so
Diane McKeever, LLC is my business Facebook page.
Yes. Yeah. Not unless you want to see pictures of her cute dogs or something. So
I don't post cute dog pictures.
Oh, cute cats.
Diane McKeever, LLC is my Facebook name. No cute cats either.
Yeah. Well, as I said, that's part of my thing of watching with all my old college friends is in high school friends, is seeing all their grandkids and all this other stuff doing crazy things. So
yeah.
So
well, I hope Judy was one of the participants, was she?
Yeah, Judy called in late. As I said, she's doing all different stuff. As I said, people were registering for this conference right up to the very end. So, which is also what happened. So we got some people popping in. But she has the opportunity to review all
Sure.
she got all the slides, and she will listen to all the videos. And she comes up with some good ideas on this stuff. So I thank everybody. I said, everybody like Diane, thank her. Go out and get the book.